Listen, I'm thinking smoky with a double wing. I want to get a little bit feral today. I do. By the way, this is not an ad. This is excitement. And so many of you know how much I love Elemis and how much I love this cleansing balm. This is a baby version. I keep this one up here when I reset. Look at this. Look at that, $33 for the big one. I didn't want y'all to miss out on that. That right there's a good deal. And how much is this one? Is this the rose one? This one I believe is newer because they did the whole rose scented. And if it's rose, I mean, I love anything rose. So if you like, obviously, if you like the smell of rose, get this one. It is. It's the same formula, but the smell, oh, it's so good. Here's a link. It's on Ulta. And I just got excited and all of you were excited and y'all DM me. So go get it. I mentioned a couple days ago that we're going to start talking more about skin prep. So I have my skincare on and that's on my saved highlights. I will say for my skincare, I'm always switching things out. I am sent so many things that I'm always trying things, but I still wait at least 3 or 4 weeks to see how it's working. The skincare routine I have on my saved highlights, I love those products and I use them the most, but I have switched eye creams and I'm in between. So I don't want to tell you that I love it yet, but something that I use, and I use this, think of it as primer, is this. You can see it right here. I'm going to grab that. This one's from Elemis. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. So I love this on top of eye cream. It's fine alone, but it's better on top of eye cream. And this is what I do before eyeshadow, before clean canvas. I just know that sometimes skin prep isn't as fun as makeup, but it's more important. We're gonna need some clean canvas here. And it's important to see how much I pick up. Because I pick up that's gonna be enough probably for both eyes, but I want you to see that it's really not that much. Yep, that'll be enough for both eyes. And did you see what a small amount that was? It's really important that you do apply the perfect amount of this because we want it to coat the entire lid. And we don't want to see the skin, but we also want it to be as thin as possible across the lid. If it's not completely smooth across, you do run that risk of it creasing. Yep, that was plenty. I don't need to pick up any more. So I'm going to grab this shade and I want you to see that this one is a little bit cooler than say this transition shade. This one's a little bit more cool too, but has a little bit more pink. Maybe if I point that out to you, you might be able to see it. Especially, I'm trying to get rid of that glare. Especially if you compare it here, just kind of go across here. But this is the shade we're going to start with. We're going to grab that on E28. I love this palette, by the way. I'm having so much fun with it. And make sure we're not setting a crease, perfectly normal. And we're gonna press that in. Ooh, look how nice that looks. Press, press, press. We're setting that base. And since that base is so tacky, it's gonna make these shadows extremely pigmented. It's kind of like wetting your brush without the mess, because we definitely shouldn't be wetting our brushes. We definitely should not be wetting our brushes with a matte, but I don't even wet my brushes with shimmers because it causes hard pan. And what hard pan is say this right here. I did not use a wet brush, but had I, you would see a film on it. And when I would even go in with my finger, I wouldn't be able to pick up the product. So that's one of the reasons you don't see me. And also the brushes, the fibers, they pick up the perfect amount and they just, you don't need to wet your brushes with these. So I'm going to pick up some more of the same shade. 1, 2. I'm going to continue to bring it over this way. And I actually want this to be a little bit cooler. That's why I talk about eyeshadow base a lot. Medium's a little bit warm on me, but you know, I'm going to teach you something. I bet you want to learn something, don't you? Hey, listen. You don't have to have this palette. I just want you to find a blue similar. You see this? We all know why I use this. Check my page. It's going to cancel out the orange and the warm. This is so important. This is so important. Okay, I'm not digging. Oh, wrong color. I'm not digging. I'm grabbing the tiniest amount. You can barely see it. This is so much fun. Makeup is so much fun. But it's also important to have someone here to show you. So what I'm doing is I'm going to focus most of it here. And then once I see where I'm going, I'm going to build it up and it's going to cool it down. It's not going to turn it blue. I'm basically just adding what I find it was missing. I picked up one more tap. I have to show you how much I picked up. See how you can barely see it? I'm going to start here in case I mess up. Then I'm going to take it over this way. And I'm just going to, so you can see that it's already cooling down. I'm going to do this eye again so you can see the warmth and how it just kind of took that out. But a lot of us have these primary, these very bright colors, and we go, I do not want to look like a bird of paradise. I do. You might not. But if you don't, you can use these colors. If I had grabbed red, it would have really warmed that up even more. White would have lightened it. Again, we're going with such small amounts that too much would have just made it very ashy and lightened it. It might have looked too frosty. That's the word I'm looking for. I should do a whole series. Oh, the ideas that come to me. I should do a whole series on just doing a classic neutral brown and then adding these colors into it to see what we come up with. I love makeup. Now look at this difference. This is that same color. I'm just going to bring it over this way. And it wasn't difficult. It's just about knowing how much to pick up on the brush. That way we don't turn it into a blue eyeshadow look. But you'll see that it's just nice and cool tone now. This is also a really good idea if you just have a lot of warm palettes and you don't want to invest in a cool tone palette because you're afraid you won't use it too much. This is what happens when you do your makeup every single day, 3 times a day. You pick up on some ideas. Now let's grab this shade from the palette. 2 little taps. Notice it's more towards the tip of the brush as well. I'm going to push that onto my brow bone. Smooth it over this way. And then smooth it over this way. Now I don't want to push the boundaries here, but I want to try that. I haven't tried it yet. Don't be trying it. You let me mess up first. I'm going to try doing that with some of my really orange bronzers. And when I say that, the e.l.f. Blue Corrector, check my recent post. I have the collection there of these. I'm posting the last one tonight, by the way. But that's the e.l.f. Blue Corrector. I wonder if we can really cool down some bronzers and create some contours. Because that's like a very natural contour shade for me. Stay tuned. Now I'm doing a half cut crease. The whole job is just feeling the spice today. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for some spice. I'm gonna grab clean canvas. This is a C30. This is probably one of the sharpest, most precise concealer brushes that I've ever used. And I'm just gonna place it. Okay, let's get our rough draft, as I like to say. And then also notice how I just went over that fold. Let's take it really far over this way. And just so you can see the precision, look at this. Precision for days. Let's bring that up higher. Not too much higher. Do you see that? Now let's smooth out our lid. I had to run downstairs real quickly. I think I'm out of my favorite pair of lashes, and that's where I was looking. So let's grab this shade. I'm gonna grab it on our C30. And notice that I loaded up the brush. Gene is having the sleep of his life over there. Goodness me. That's so pretty. I wanted something that almost looked like my lid, but shiny. And I really think this color is perfect. Not too red. You probably never think to use a flat brush like this for your eyeshadow, but think of it as your fingertip, but better. I know a lot of times we like to use our finger to apply it, but for me and a lot of us, we don't have that control. For me, I don't have the control because I have long nails, but I'm a mess. But we don't always have that control to kind of push it to, obviously, the edge. But I thought of everything with this brush, really all the brushes. I love my little brushes. So one of my favorite things to do when I do a cut crease like this, a lot of times I like to extend it out this way. And when I extend it out this way, it doesn't connect to this line, but I absolutely love connecting liner to that line. It just lifts the eye. It's so pretty. And you'll see that I'm also taking it away from the fold. See how this fold in my eye? Ooh, that fold do be folding out this way. Y'all are really gonna get some hooded eye tutorials in the next few years. But I just love the way that it looks, and I feel like it's very lifting. But I also want it to be extremely high. And the reason why is because I'm actually gonna do another wing, double wing. I wanna give you another tip. I'm about to apply lashes, but if you really want your eyes to look extremely lifted, what I like to do is I actually make it thicker on the outer part. Most of you probably already know this, but I never want to assume because every day somebody is starting their makeup journey. So if you already know this, I'm sorry I'm being repetitive, but you'll see how thin that I like this liner through the front. It really gives a really nice lifted, elongated shape to the eye. So thinner towards the front and thicker towards the back, towards the tail. I'm now stuttering because somehow I just put a jean hair on my lash. Found it, jean. So I'm applying House of Lashes Iconic Light. And what I'm doing here is I'm pinching it into my lash line. That way, these are also from House of Lashes, but that way, while that glue is drying, it dries right on my skin and it won't lift. But it does take a little bit of shaping. It takes a little bit of manipulating it to stay. Even I do this after all of these years because that inner corner wants to lift, but the more that you kind of shape it to your eye and pinch it in there very carefully, you get a beautiful lash line and it stays. I'm going to start on my face, but I want to talk about skin prep. I already have this on. I applied this when I first sit down, and this is my moisturizer slash primer. This I just use as a moisturizer, but it works so well with my makeup that I don't really use primer at the moment. I use this as primer, and it's just been working beautifully. But just wanted to mention that because I'm trying my best to talk more about skin prep. It's so important. I'm feeling spicy today. I want to use this Dior foundation. That matches pretty daggum good. Always wait for your foundation to dry down before you choose a shade, because right now that does look a little bit yellow, right? Wait for it to dry down. This brush is coming soon. This is a spicy foundation brush, y'all. Ooh, look at that match now. It's already starting to dry. And this is a really beautiful foundation. It is. Very heavily scented. You gotta like scents. It's smelling wonderful, but it's definitely has a smell. Very, very, very strong. Get that redness out of here. It's a really beautiful glowing foundation for sure. I'm gonna add a little bit more. I only put, honestly, a little dot on the back of my hand. Don't worry, I'm gonna let you watch this blend out too. So nice. Put some on the forehead. Sometimes I don't show all of this because, you know, I'm just hurrying up because I'm always filming different things. I'm actually going to hop off and film something. I found a highlight mixture that I really, really, really like. So I do want to film that. but I'll be right back. But I'm not leaving yet. I'm just going to leave right before powder. Also, I'm so excited for this brush. I'm not going to tell y'all too much about it, but I am so excited. It's sooner than you probably think. And the way it applies foundation, I'm so excited for y'all. Truly. Yeah, this one's been a prototype a long time too. We're getting a little wild. We're gonna grab our Exa pink corrector, and I'm gonna grab the Dior concealer only because I have the Dior foundation on and it was right there. And I'm gonna use the pink to lighten this concealer. I'm not really using it as a brightener. I'm just kind of using it because I have my pinky undertones, and I'm just using this to lighten. So it is gonna have a little bit of pink, but I'm not using it as a brightener. We're just having fun. We're just having fun, y'all. And then I'll just grab that same C31 that we used for the eye base, but they just don't absorb all the product. We can switch back and forth. We're still gonna get a brightening effect, but if you want a truly pink brightened under eye, we would have applied the Exa on top. Right now we're just using it to lighten, because that shade 3C is a little bit too dark for my under eyes. Okay, now I'm gonna disappear, but I'll be right back. All right, so I just filmed the highlight situation. It's just on one side of my face. XOXO Gossip Girl. That's more of my secrets I keep. The powder that I use to set is Givenchy, of course, and I haven't done anything else but highlighter, and I did film that. I'm excited to post it. It's a nice little mixture. A lot of times you normally see I don't really wear highlighters because I just feel like they just show texture on myself and they kind of change the way the makeup looks. And if you use highlighter and you're enjoying it, I love that. For me, I just see things that I don't like on myself, just myself. And I like to find new techniques because I want to wear highlighter. Let's use an affordable bronzer today. This is from L'Oreal. I really do enjoy this one. I will say it's a smidgy orange, just a smidgy. So I'm just going to use a smaller amount of it. It is still very pretty, but it blends like a dream. I feel pretty with my highlighter on here. And then we talk about this, but we're just going to put a little bit here. And that just kind of completes the look. So let me explain that a little bit more. So with contouring, it's much cooler colors. I have so many videos on that. I'm not going to get into that. But a lot of times, bronzer can still shape the face. But what I'm doing here, I'm actually not shaping the face. If I was shaping, I would be taking it underneath here. I'm not doing that. Where I'm placing that is right here. And what that does, it just kind of creates flow from the top of your forehead and it flows down into the chest. So instead of it just kind of being much lighter down here or even just skin tone, this bronzer just kind of ties everything together and it's so subtle. I'm using the smallest amount through here. Okay, I am actually really excited for this ColourPop collection. I haven't been excited in quite some time. I think it's just super cute. I love all the colors. I'm not going to compare these today. More Jean hair in my eye. But look at how neon this pink is, even compared to that. That has so much blue in it and it's a little bit darker. We're going to use this one today. We're pink blush obsessed. I know it's not going to be blurring. I don't want to tell y'all to run and buy this if y'all already bought this, because this formula I already know it's just going to be like, phew. This is science. Because it's so blurring. It's so good. I love this formula. But I just want to try this color. Okay? I just want to see something. Now let's try this out. I'm going to do a little bit of draping. We're still going to do our double wing. Draping is just when we add blush here. Okay. I'm going to add it to the outer part. We're going to connect it. I picked up a very small amount, so I never want y'all to look at a blush and go, ooh, that's not pigmented. I am so careful with how much I pick up. I never want to just be like, oh my gosh, now what? Smaller amounts, please. Oh, that's nice. I find it completely different than the Too Faced one already. I mean, the formula is just different. I picked up 2 more taps. It's really pretty. And we're going to compare, even though they're a little different in color, I know that y'all are going to want to see that difference. Look at how, just that little bit of lift there. Isn't that fun? And it looks like it's glowing. I love makeup. Now, I'm still going to use our Valentino one, but I'm going to give you a tip. Even sometimes at this point, a brush tip like this one, and it can tickle underneath here. It still tickles me, but this tiny little gel one does not tickle me. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to start my line with this one. I love these. These are probably some of my absolute favorites, but you can just use any gel pencil you have. Okay, so it started. Do the same thing over here, because I plan on smudging it anyways. But what I'm not going to smudge is the precise line we're about to draw here. Put on your makeup seatbelts. Okay, now we're going to connect. And when I say connect, we're connecting to the bottom lash line here. And then double wing. Y'all have so many blackmail screenshots. Oh, I love y'all so much. This is a little prototype that I have that never went into production. Fan brushes are very intimidating, but they're fun. They're really fun. I like this. This one's from NYX. So affordable. So precise. I love it. This is fun. Do you trust me? I know I've got some kind of frosty wildness going on, but it's only temporary. And look at how pretty that's pulling with this. Okay, we're gonna give it some depth. It's gonna work. I do need to find a lip liner. Hang on. Now I know I'm gonna frighten you more with brown lip liner, but y'all let me live. Y'all let me have fun, because this is how I advance. From doing these super spicy looks, I even thought of something else that's gonna help y'all later. So now it's not gonna look like this. Well, it might still to you, but it's not to me. Hang on and trust the process here. We are gonna need a lip brush. This is pretty. This is really sparkly. That's really nice. I added a little bit more of that lipstick. And now I'm gonna blend it. But stay with me now. Stay with me. Look at that precision. Make sure you blend it into the brown lip liner. Now, I absolutely love it this way. But if this is too scary for you, all you need to do is grab a sheer red gloss. Watch this. And it's still gonna stay in our tones. It's just gonna warm it up a little bit. I love makeup. That is so pretty. Oh, I love it. But then we still have a pretty metallic. Look at the sparkles. And I feel like this is a more a little bit everyday. Obviously, we know there's a brown lip liner. It's definitely defined. I have lots of looks for everyone, but this one for me, I love. And it is definitely a little bit more wearable than just the kind of pale pink purple metallic. But look how it glows now like the blush, and it matches. I like this look. I love y'all so much. I'm so excited to post tonight's post, because it's the last part of this series. Such a helpful series. This is the e.l.f. corrector. This is the one I use. You're gonna see what it corrects, how I use it, the brush I use. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna set a reminder. I've been setting these and it seems to be helping. I love y'all so much. I honestly just feel like I'm sitting here doing makeup with my best friends every day. We're just getting ready and we're learning about makeup. It's all I ever wanted. I love y'all so much. And I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. We're probably gonna keep it a little more tame. I like to kind of switch off and on to that. I know that I get a little wild with my brown lip liner, white liner, double wing cut crease. It's a soft cut crease though. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you tonight in the comments.